very special day today.
What's up, man?
So, Chris,
What's up, buddy? How you doing? Welcome to the office.
to the call loop and
Hey.
sales message office.
Come on back.
I've been bugging Chris online. I've been stalking him
For years.
Yes. But he just launched a new service, sales message,
Yeah.
back in April.
Yeah.
And I want to ask him about launching a successful product, sales, entrepreneurships. But before we get to that, Chris, do you mind sharing a little bit about you with
Yeah, man.
the viewers?
So where do we meet?
Las Vegas.
Yeah.
It was probably
2011, 12?
no before that.
Really?
Yes.
Oh my God.
It was a realtor conference,
yeah.
and you were launching Call Loop back then. I
Yeah,
think.
so that must, it was 2000.
So
11,
I
that's
walked
probably
to Chris, and like a true marketer, he's like, put your email address here, and we will contact you. you had actually, I think it was in your phone.
Okay. I forget, man.
Instead of handing business cards,
Right.
you
captured the leads online.
Yes.
And then you probably got a phone call or something, right? Back in the day. Yeah, man. So, gosh, I guess long story is got started in 2002. I was at Tallahassee going to school up there. Florida State was up there. I actually went to community college and then later transferred to Florida State. But I was broke my sophomore year and I needed to pay rent. And I think rent at the time was like $300, which for us, I wish rent was $300.
Yes,
you know?
yes.
So I didn't have any money, and so my buddy's like, "Hey man, why don't you think about selling your rims?" And what happened was actually 2 years prior was I was 18 years old, 19 years old, and like any 18-year-old kid, you wanted to like pimp out your ride and pimp out your car and everything, and get rims. So I ended up finding a wholesaler in Miami that had the rims that I wanted. And I basically called him up and I was like, hey, this is Chris with Boca Tint and Tunes. I got a customer. He wants these rims, da da da. So like, just
Also,
make sure we got them,
Yes.
It's like, okay, it's 400, blah, blah, blah. So I was like, oh my God, So I ended up driving down there and I was 18 years old, showed up to the warehouse, paid cash and got these rims for like $450 or something, right? So fast forward 2 years later, I'm broke, can't pay rent. Buddy says, why don't you sell your rims? So he's like, hey, have you heard of eBay? So I'm like, no, I never heard of eBay. So I went on eBay. Come to find out, the wheels that I bought for $450 were selling online for $900. So I was like, holy crap, I'm in business.
Yes.
Didn't sell my rims. I forget. Anyhow, I paid rent or whatever, but I started a company called Hardline Performance. And I sold rims and tires on eBay. Specifically like Mustang rims, Corvettes, Camaros, that sort of thing. And quickly built that company. In fact, in the first year, we did about $250,000, which was, back then being in college was pretty sick.
Yes.
And actually it was kind of cool because you're from Puerto Rico. So I used to get these tires from a company in Missouri and they had a blemish on them, but they were race tires that I got for $26 a piece. I put them on eBay. Somebody from Puerto Rico says, hey, how many of these tires do you have? I was like, well, how many do you want? He's like, just give me all of them. So I ended up selling these tires I got for $26 for $75 each. The guy wired me like $8,000. And at the time I was like, holy crap, I'm 20 years old in college, whatever, 21 years old. And I remember doing this like huge deal, selling tires to Puerto Rico.
Street races in Puerto Rico are crazy.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So like, I sold these tires and I was like, holy crap. So I was making crazy good money up there. And so I ended up building that company up and I didn't like it. I had over here in Delray, I had a 3-bay warehouse. I had full of inventory. I moved from a small bay to a larger bay. And that same night that we moved, I got broken into. So someone saw us move all this inventory and wheels and everything. It broke in that night. In fact, the next day I was supposed to get my alarm put on. Got broken into. They stole like $5,000 worth of stuff, and I was just like, man, this sucks. So I ended up selling that company in 2005 to an investor somewhere. But after that, I vowed never again to get into physical goods.
Same
so
here.
so I was like, all right, I got to figure this out. How do I sell? How do I learn marketing? Like, what do I need to do? I learned like Zig Ziglar. I was learning a bunch of Jay Abraham stuff, Dan Kennedy, and it was all direct mail. So I was like, well, who's online doing it? And that's how I found you on like Silver and the whole crew pretty much. And then from that, ended up doing product launches, creating information products, membership sites, doing all sorts of different stuff, and then years later, created Call Loop.
Yeah. From then to Call Loop and sales message, I'm sure you've learned plenty things.
Yeah.
And have you made the same? Have you caught yourself repeating the same mistake? Let's say in sales message that you made in Call Loop, or
yeah, good question. Yes, yeah. There's been some, there's some certain things. Obviously, a lot of stuff that I've learned with Call Loop and other businesses and stuff that I've said, never again can I do it that way. And a lot of things we've changed. I think really from kind of a culture side. So Call Loop's a little bit different. Call Loop, for the most part, is kind of a lifestyle business.
Yes.
It's pretty much, for the most part, there's people in the place, there's systems, it's software, so it's scalable, yeah. It's pretty much automated for the most part. And, we started Sales Message, which is, a two-way text messaging platform. It was like starting from scratch. Literally, we were starting from scratch again. And I forget how hard it is. So, there's a lot of stuff that we're doing now that, we just didn't do in the beginning with Call Loop. I think one of the biggest mistakes we made with Call Loop is not selling it early enough. So when we started Sales Message, we actually were working on a different idea called Kika Conference. It was a conference call platform. We were building it for about a year, and it was just like we were so burnt out, and I wasn't passionate about conference calls and such. So basically said, okay, well, we wasted a year. Not really wasted, we learned a lot. But we took a year, built this product, didn't want to really move forward with it. And I said, Andrew, my co-founder, what about this, right? So I said, well, listen, if we're going to go ahead and build this product, let me go ahead and sell it. So literally that same week, we made that decision to go, all right, we're going to stop Kika. We're going to build Sales Message. I did a webinar, and I think we generated like $4,000 or $5,000.
You did $4 or $5 grand from a webinar.
Yeah.
But that wasn't the mistake you made. You said you made a mistake in sales message.
Yeah, because basically with Kika, we started building, and we didn't sell. So we literally went for 8 months without like going out to actually sell the product. So what we did with Kika or Sales Message was like, look, before we start building anything, let me go ahead and let me put some slides together, basically. Let me design it up. And I already designed it up. And I said, screw it. Let me just put a webinar together and sell it. So I basically pre-sold it, got a bunch of people. And this was in November. So pre-sold it in November. I think I did another webinar in December. And then by that time, we had by January, the end of January was like, look, it's going to be out. You're going to have a beta. So at the end of January, I think we were a week late or something like that. We actually had a beta in people's hands.
So what are some of the things that you think that most entrepreneurs don't think about when it comes to launching a product and when it comes to selling? Let's say launching a product.
Yeah. Well, first of all, you have to have a problem to solve, right? So it's like, I think software is hard. Right, because you have to, I'm not a technical, I'm technical, but I'm not a developer.
Yes.
So I can't build software. I can build websites, I can design sites, all that sort of stuff. But, today that's easy, right? I just click funnels and call it a day. But to build software, it's a little bit different. So, you have to have a good co-founder. Yeah, you can find somebody to build you a prototype, but who's going to build the actual company, build the product? So, I would just say, like, if you're going to build a software company, like, make sure that you're going to partner up with somebody that is extremely talented, very proficient, and really good, and they're just development.
They're just development.
Yeah. And then, because I focus on the marketing side of it, the sales side of it, all the other stuff that they don't want to learn about. Like they love code, they want to create.
Some people think that they want to learn about it, but they don't. And it's just so much. To add on top of what you're already doing. But you mentioned marketing and sales. What are some things that people don't think about? What most entrepreneurs don't think about when it comes to marketing?
I think they underestimate how difficult it is, right? And sometimes it can be quite hard to like market a product, especially a product that is brand new or you don't have proof. I would say one of the things we've definitely done, started to do with sales message is proof, right? Because that is the best thing that you can't really manufacture proof. You can't fake it.
Yes.
So we have a lot of customers that are getting hardcore results.
Got it.
So we have a customer that, they started to use it within the first 2 weeks, they made $15,000 using text messaging to convert leads to appointments to sales. And frankly, they just drive sales through text messaging. So really focused on the proof element of case studies, how it's working for them, how they're using it. So really with that core focus on proof, because it's undeniable, right? It's easy to, do everything else, but proof is the hardest part.
Are you providing just the platform and the service, or are you going above and beyond, like say providing training or tips and idea on how, not just how to use sales message, but how to convert those leads into sales?
Yeah, not yet.
Okay.
Not yet.
So it's working without even doing crazy stuff like that.
Well, it's not rocket science.
Yeah.
It's
not rocket science for us because
True.
we've been doing it for a while, but do you think marketing is hard because it's not just telling people to, hey, here's my product, here's the proof? Do you actually have to worry about copy, the color of the buttons, the funnel, the email, the follow-up?
I mean, you have to have a compelling message, right? And you have to solve a problem. And so I think it's getting a little bit more difficult, but also I think it's getting actually a little bit more easier. So like, we can have a candid conversation. You can pop up a video. People can connect with you a lot easier. So in many respects, marketing has gotten easier, but it's also gotten harder to get to that conversion, right? Getting the attention and then getting people to actually convert, because there's so many other products out there. There's so many more people that are entering the space because everyone can do it. Everyone can create a funnel with ClickFunnels or landing pages or whatever. So like, the barrier to entry for everybody is a lot easier, which creates more competition. So especially in software, and there's more software coming out all the time and all the time and all the time. And so, how do you differentiate that? How do you market that? And it's a constant. With Call Loop, for the most part, the marketing is pretty much automated, right? So when I say automated, I mean we're generating traffic through SEO. We have a follow-up campaign, which we could always make better.
Yes.
And all that sort of stuff to get to a conversion. At the end of the day, the product is what matters.
Yes.
So the product solves a problem, and if you can solve a problem, then your marketing really becomes easy. So it goes hand in hand with, it can be hard, but it can also be easy. If you got a shitty product, it's gonna be hard. So you got to get your product nailed. So
I wasn't planning to ask you about problem solving, but you repeated a couple of times. So what have you found that works for you or works for other people to identify the problem, the actual problem? Not the problem I think you have, but the actual problem you have.
I mean, I've always solved problems that I always had, right? Or
that's been my philosophy. That's always been my philosophy. Yes.
Yeah. I mean, if I look at all the stuff that I've created, it's always been some sort of problem that I had, and just so happens that other people had that problem too. Now, you can do customer development and all that sort of stuff, but I always feel those are manufactured problems, right? Like that's like, in Silicon Valley, a lot of those guys do the customer service, do all that sort of stuff, and they're trying to find a problem to create $1 billion company. No, right? And so I don't know. I always think it from
that's always been. I believe in that route, because not only I solved my problem, but I also created a product or a service around that problem. So not only I solved my problem, but also, let's say, profited from it at the same time and help other people. Yeah.
Well, there's a difference between like software and information products. So like information products are easy to create. There's no real technical knowledge, except getting
you got that evil smile right now.
Well, because it's easy, it's like, in many respects, like I miss, information products because it is so easy.
I know you have you have a couple. So are you planning to launch a couple under, not under the call loop sales message umbrella and see what happens?
Yeah, I mean, I've owned the company Automize for years, and it's been sitting dormant. It's been kind of the umbrella for all the other products, and so. I haven't really created much products because we've been creating software and that sort of thing. So I definitely want to create more information products, more education, because information can benefit the software. I mean, you see it with ClickFunnels, you see it with, all the other software companies out there. With Sales Message, we created an early version, right? We got it out, it solved a problem, people solved, but they also, hey, can it do this? Or hey, can
they
it
ask
do
for
that?
more.
Yeah, and so I talked to the customers, I learned stuff, Frank Kern's a customer, we've got a lot of Dean Graziosi, we've got some big guys using it, but they're like, hey, can it do this? Hey, can it do that? Hey, can it do that? And so, you take in all this feedback, you understand all that sort of stuff, and at the end of the day, what's the feature that you're going to build that's actually going to move the needle? What's the feature you're going to build that's actually going to generate more money or allow you to enter a market to acquire more customers?
Yes.
So
is Sales Message automated like whole loop that you can step out and?
Oh no. Like I said, man, we're starting out. It's I forget how hard it is to start out because you're starting from scratch. So with Sales Message we have started to do webinars. We got to line up joint venture partners. The product is not fully polished.
Yes.
So we want to get out the kinks. We want to add these features. We want to then put together a real quote unquote launch. But along the way, we're acquiring customers, getting feedback, generating revenue,
so
that sort of thing.
Let's talk to the gravy. Let's talk sales. Do you have a dedicated salesperson?
No.
Are you going to get a dedicated salesperson?
I've been saying that for a while.
Okay. Are you going to train them, or are you expecting that person to come like, sales blazing?
Yeah, I mean, obviously you want someone that has skills, right? I don't want to sit here and hold your hand, but I will be there to help you. I'll train you on the product. I'll train you on, what's working, how to sell it. That's
on the product. But so you're looking for outbound calls, emails?
No, I mean specifically for Call Loop, we get so much inbound, signups, inbound requests.
Yes.
We have so many past customers and so many past leads that he can mine that for the next year and bring out so much gold.
Right.
So right now, I don't, maybe we can have, the outbound where it's like, cool, here's the customers that, produce the most. Let's just go out and outbound and find these bigger deals.
So it's about following up with people. But what is one thing that people don't think, or most entrepreneurs don't think of when it comes to sales? I think it's the I think people take for granted the outreaching people. I don't think a lot of entrepreneurs outreach, like meaning like, for example, you have 1,000 Facebook friends. Have you contacted 500 of them, and have you looked if they have a website or they have a need for your product? I don't think people do that often enough.
Yeah. I think, do you follow Grant Cardone?
Yes. Yeah. I like his motivation style.
I think Grant has a good message, which is 10x, right? Like just hustle, bust your butt, especially from the sales side. Mm-hmm. So like, I could spend the next week and just call, literally if I spent the next week and just all day called, emailed, set up meetings, could we double revenue? Maybe. You know what I mean? Like, so I'm probably not the best person to ask about sales because our stuff is pretty much, it's all self-serve. It's all come in, you buy the product. We don't have a sales team that's, walking you through that. Now, how much money will they entail? Probably a lot, probably a ton. Can we hire a sales team, a salesperson to kind of manage that, find these big deals? Absolutely, So I don't know. I think the biggest mistake people make, I know I make, is not pulling the trigger fast enough, right? Mm-hmm. Like not finding someone early enough to, invest in them to bring you double, triple, quadruple the sales, and creating marketing and attracting and inbound, HubSpot, their whole thing. But in many respects, a lot of products need to be sold through a person. Call Loop, not so much. Sometimes it does because you have a larger client, or we've got like 65 parties, recently. Like, yeah, like we will handhold you through that process. But with sales message early on, I walked everybody through, onboarded everybody, and it's $10 a month. So it's like, maybe they'll spend 50 or $100 a month, if that. Most people spend 30. So, to walk through that process, like, I don't care, because I want to learn, I want to understand, I want to see how they're going to use it, I want to, for what use case, what vertical. So in the beginning, it's a lot about learning. It's a lot about understanding.
What's the biggest lesson that you learned launching sales message?
And we quote unquote haven't really launched it. It's it's a little baby right now.
So far, what's the biggest lesson?
You gotta have a good team. I think the biggest lesson is we're building something really powerful.
Do you work with family?
No.
Would you work with family?
No.
How you got your first person, your team, the first person in your team in sales message?
Yeah. So Andrew and I have been working together for, 4 years, something like that,
yeah.
5 years. So he actually was a junior developer in the call loop in the early days. So my co-founder Ronnie is a .NET developer. Andrew's PHP.
Yeah.
So we ended up building out the product. Andrew went and worked for somebody else. And I always liked Andrew. He was young. He was a hustler.
Ambitious.
So, yeah, ambitious. So we ended up kind of coming back together. We worked on some stuff, and that was it. So we kept in touch and just built that relationship over time. And then he had some connections in his own development network, and so we brought on another developer that he knew, that he's worked with in the past. That was just easy to go. Yeah, let's do it.
So if I'm going to hire somebody to do sales for me, what would be your advice for me?
We're going through that process right now to hire someone. One is have your commission structure built out from the get-go.
So you're going for pay as you go, pay on performance.
Any salesperson is going to want commission.
Yeah.
Right. So you can do zero, salary, and just full commission, all commission. You could do, base plus commission, that sort of thing. And obviously someone that's seasoned is going to want, a nice salary, plus they're going to want commissions on top. So, really just having, I would say, 3 different options and let them decide what they want to do. Because some people may go, hey, listen, I'll forfeit salary because I'm a badass, and I'll just go and sell the heck out of this thing.
Got it.
And I'll just, give me 100% commission. So, you need to have that stuff in place to bring them on board first, right? So how are you tracking it? What's your CRM? What's your sales process? So like, cool, you're gonna hire someone, go, all right, go sell. Like, well, where's the material?
Yes.
Like, da-da-da. So, there's some homework to do to onboard them, to bring them on board, to train them, to get them all the material, to educate them, to walk them through the sales process.
You mentioned cold calling. Do you believe in cold calling? In cold email?
To an extent.
Okay.
Yeah. I would do more cold outbound emailing, right? More targeted. So for example, we have, and I would leverage like the success of one customer in a vertical. So for example, we have, one client that actually is Agora. And so they're like, look, we get 20% lift when we use voice and text, meaning we did a webinar, we did 4 million. When we send a text message and a voice broadcast to drive a sale or drive attendance, we drive 20% more revenue. Great. So let me use that case study.
Yeah.
And we go out to all the other, affiliates or companies that are like them, and just leverage that story and leverage that case study.
Still cold, but more targeted. It's not more.
I wouldn't cold call because you don't know who you're going to get, but cold email with like, hey, here's how Agora generated 20%, 800,000.
And if they're
in the industry, they know.
They know who they are. So
right, so you can leverage that stuff, right? So like we have Seattle Seahawks. Now, ideally, what we should do is we should leverage Seattle Seahawks and go out to every sports team, and create maybe a sports division.
So why you haven't done it?
I don't know.
All
these things, right?
It's the lifestyle business. We always, sometimes we get comfortable.
Yeah.
It's a good business, That was pretty amazing. Good day with Chris. Nah, I don't know.
Now it's beach time.
Beach time? Oh my goodness! Look at this. Oh. Just beautiful. One of the reasons I love being an entrepreneur. Control my time, control my schedule, spend time with the family in beautiful places. Anyhow, have you got a lot of value from Chris and I and my conversation with Chris? Chris is a very intelligent person, successful entrepreneur. He launched multiple software companies, and it's a lot to learn. You can follow him at codeloop.com and Sales Message. I'm going to drop the link down below. Anyhow, I hope you like this video. I hope you like this video. I hope you're having a fantastic day, the best day ever. Let me know what you like about this video, what you didn't like, what video you want me to create next. And as always, my name is Angel Anderson. I hope you're having a fantastic day, the best day ever. See you in the next video. Peace out.